Sound check. Okay. Now can you guys hear me? Sorry about that. Yeah, for some reason the computer just froze up. And I don't know why. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, I guess the internet connection is a little weak, but for whatever reason, the computer got affected by it. Okay, so we should be good now. We're back. All right, so let's see, I got 3 of them, and let's do this blue one here. And the 4th one is still on the machine. Actually, I could pull it off, but you know what? I'm gonna chain piece this one in, and hopefully we'll just get all the tulip or the flower pieces all sewn together. Okay, there we go. And I can press this one back. And I don't know why that's there, but and I'll trim this one down there, and nope, there and there. Do 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 do. Okay, so all of this. So this is going to get laid out. Like, wait. Like that. See, I knew I would get it eventually. It's going to go like that, and that makes your little tulip flower. So there's one. I do have to make one more little teeny tiny strip though. And I was hoping maybe I could get it out of one of those pieces, but nope. So let's continue on with the blue. Do, 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 do. So as I was saying, I have to take my Christmas tree down because I have to be out of here by September, which my rent, or that is when my lease contract expires here, and they've already told me the rent is going up pretty astronomically. So I'm saying bye-bye to this facility and hello to someplace new. So I don't want to give out too much details right now because there's a lot of unknowns factors about it, but I will be kind of packing up and moving along. Oh, shoot. All throughout August, packing up boxes. So have to kind of think about what is going to happen in terms of what I do here. Yep, Barbara. If you heard me, yeah, the rent is going up about $500. So I'm saying no to that. And in my own way of protest, I'm saying goodbye to this complex. Hi, Katie Crafts. Okay. Good luck with your move. Well, thank you, Delia. It will be interesting to see where I land. Ouch, that's a lot, yeah. But, well, that's what happens when you're in a city where the growth rate is double digits. And, you know, I think Vegas has the highest inflation rate now. So we'll see where I land. I do like Vegas, but yeah, it's just getting to be expensive here. Okay, whoops. Hello, Miss Lizette. Okay. I don't know if this got activated. Well, okay. So what was it? Let's see. Jackie says, that happened to me a couple of years ago. Moved in with my parents, was supposed to be temporary, ended up being a 5 years to help with my mom's health problems. Well, at least, hey, I mean, free rent, right? But at least you're moving in for the right reason. Because I've been kind of contemplating moving back home, quite honestly, since mom is kind of getting up there in her age. And so she is in a care facility, but, you know, it would be nice to spend at least her last couple of years with her. But everything is kind of up in the air right now, so which is why I don't want to make an official announcement, but until I finally get my act, or finally know where my final destination is. Listen to me, I sound like a flight attendant. Please make sure all the trays and seats are in the upright position as we come in for our landing. Okay, whoops. Is the cost of living high in Hawaii? It is most definitely high. I was just kind of pricing out stuff out of curiosity. Um, well, let me start with this. Gas right now, I think, is well over $6, is what my friend said. And I was looking at rent, like just what the feasibility of it for me would be. A one-bedroom apartment is close to $2,000 a month, which um, for some areas that's not bad. I mean, it's not the most expensive area, but you know, when you consider just the cost of everything else in Hawaii, um, you know, it all adds up. So, and people often say, or you hear YouTubers that say, "Oh no, Hawaii's not as expensive," but yeah, considering since COVID, the inflation rate went skyrocketing up, and I just sewed that way off, but hopefully it'll come out. Um, you know, like everywhere else, it just cost just went out of control. Don't go to Key West. It's higher, yeah. Well, Key West, I wouldn't want to go to because I know that whole area is just prone to hurricanes. I mean, it sort of seems like every year there's a hurricane coming through the Gulf. So Hawaii has its share of hurricanes too. That's why I'm just wouldn't want to look forward to that. Okay, gotta somehow figure out how to do the ending. I have a nephew in Henderson. That's Delia. Is all your family in Hawaii? Yes, they are, Delia. Well, check that. All my immediate family is in Hawaii. I do have relatives, cousins. One of my aunts lives in Washington. And a few relatives actually live out in Portland, but they're all on the West Coast. Let's do this. Ooh, psychedelic orange. That's what I want to call this color. Gloria says, after my husband passed away, I moved in with my mom and older sister. Oh, sorry, I read that. Oh, no. That was Jackie who I read before. Okay. After my husband passed away, I moved in with my mom and older sister to help with my mom. When mom passed away 3 years later, I stayed to help my sister. Then she passed away in 2021. Oh, wow. So, Gloria, are you the last in your family left, or do you have brothers or other sisters? It would probably be nice to be around your family. It would be nice. That's one of the things that I kind of miss about being home. You know, you're always close to family and friends, of course. And, well, I hate to say this, but you don't know seafood until you've had Hawaii's seafood with fresh fish. Um, I mean, if you're a seafood lover, Hawaii's the place to be. Or if you're a fish lover, Hawaii's the place to be because there is nothing like a fresh fish caught right off the boat and straight to the dining table. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am that typical Asian that does eat raw fish. Shirley says, thank you for sharing the things you do. You are a ray of sunshine in my cloudy days. Oh, thank you, Shirley. That's so nice. Hope everything's okay. We've been missing you on the Zooms. So I get to square this one up. And 4 and 4. Planning to go to Vegas, hopefully, the first week of July to visit grandniece and her new baby boy. Well, congratulations, Pearl. And Gloria says, no, there were 9 of us. I'm the middle child. I've lost one brother and one sister. Still have 3 older sisters and 3 younger brothers. Okay, wow. 9? Holy cow. Well, it's nice to have a large family, I think. Although for others, it would be rather confusing. And that would also mean a ton of birthday celebrations and a ton of anniversaries. But I still say it would be nice to have a large family. It's kind of funny because a friend of mine was visiting this past weekend, and we were talking about in modern times, like having 3 kids is considered to be a large family. These in today's world, but back in the day, having 3 kids was not such a large family. And then we got into a discussion of the economics of it all. Are people not having children because they can't afford to? Because yes, kids are expensive. Okay, we're going with the psychedelic orange. And And I'm gonna, I don't think it trimmed it right there. Sorry, I know the lights are flickering. I think I might be overtaxing the power. These are not the most perfect half square triangles. These are not the most perfect quarter or Drunkard path blocks, but they'll do. Delia asked, do you use the same ruler to cut the curve in the fabric? Yes. So there is a slot right there to cut the curve. And how it works, actually I should just demonstrate it because I do have a few more curve pieces to cut. You start off with well, these are 5-inch squares, but depending upon the pattern and the piece that you're making, you're going to start off with a square of a certain size. And you line up the fabric. There's some markings on the template itself or on the ruler itself, and you're going to line up the square with the point, and there's some diagonal lines there. You just take your rotary cutter and you can just trim it off right like that. Then, as you saw me doing, sewing the pieces together, then the ruler also becomes your trim tool or your square up ruler, because there's also markings on the ruler to actually line up the curve with. So I'm just cutting that off, and I'm going to turn it around, then I'll line it up there, and we'll cut this side off, and we'll cut that side off, and here you have your block. So the finished size of this block will be 3.5. Okay. And So Kind of Wonderful, the creator of this ruler, they do have a YouTube channel, and they go into a lot more depth of step-by-step instructions on how to actually use this ruler to create your block. They don't do any well, not to my knowledge, they don't do any instructional videos about some of the patterns that they put out, but the patterns are pretty well written so that you can kind of follow along with it. And you know, thus far I haven't caught an error in most of the patterns. But there is something very questionable. Well, I do kind of question some of the fabric choices that they made in their example quilts, but yeah, that's a matter of personal taste, I know. So I can't fault them for that. But I will say they made some very bold choices on those quilts. And if you were a part of the Zoom, you know what I mean, because I showed the pictures of that. And we all commented the same thing. Do, 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 do. So I got one. And there's another set. So that's 2, 3. And this will be the 4th set. Okay. I'm just going to finish this one up and then we will, well, we'll see how we feel. Just thinking, because I try to keep these lives, especially on a Tuesday night, try to keep it to about an hour, but you know, I was hoping to finish at least these blocks here, but then we had technical problems and got booted. So oops. Oh, I'm off. I'm off. Can I adjust it back? Yep, I can make it back. And here's number 4. Okay. And Gloria says, I live around the corner from my son and his family now, and he helps me out now. We live in a trailer park. Okay. My grandmother was one of 15 children. Wow. And her granddad was one of 12 children. Wow. That's a large family there, Linda. Shirley says, life happened since 2024. Lost 6 family, 3 family pets, 2 heart attacks, torn tendon in the shoulder, waiting for cataract surgery. I'm doing fine. Okay, Shirley. Well, that's a positive attitude to have. And Jeannie says, that looks so much easier than when I learned how to do a drunkard's path. Well, the technique is easier. And again, the technique is explained by So Kind of Wonderful on their YouTube channel. They have a video about how to sew the pieces together. The cutting is not difficult at all. And because the unit, when you first sew it, because the unit is oversized, you do have the ability to trim it down, and that actually helps a lot, because sometimes if you're like on the tail ends, that's where I notice that I will go off, and sometimes I don't cut the curve correctly to the right size. So having this extra wiggle room is a huge help, which is why I like this particular ruler. Not to mention the fact that So Kind of Wonderful has developed a whole library of patterns of just using this ruler. There's 16 patterns in this pattern booklet that I have, but there's way more that are not included in the book. So, yeah. By the way, I'm not sponsored by So Kind of Wonderful. So if you buy the ruler, I don't get anything, but I just like the ruler a lot, and the patterns that they developed with this ruler, which is why I just talk about it. But I don't, you know, I'm not sponsored by the company or anything. I just like the ruler. That's all. So I know some people have, or some people had complaints about the ruler, but I don't know. I like it. Okay, we'll do this yellow. Mellow yellow. Okay, I just want to finish these. And then we shall call it alive. So I'll do these last 2 flowers, or the last 8 curves. They didn't have a ruler when Gloria learned the Drunkard's Path block. Wow, that must have been tough, Gloria. I can't imagine not having a templated ruler of some sort and doing this block. No siree. That would be rather, I wouldn't say impossible, but that wouldn't be fun to make. Mm, 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 mm. I bought rulers and haven't used them. Oh, Delia, you got to use it. I have the rulers and the mini wonderful curve book. Made a table runner. Oh, did you do the bat? Or wait, which I know there's a table runner pattern. I just can't remember which one it is. But this is kind of a project that I wouldn't call it a bucket list project, but it was something that I was interested in doing. So I figured, you know what? I don't have any other project that I can work on during a live. So, whoa, I almost sewed through my finger there. I figured just, okay, let's do this project. I wonder if I do this, it would make any better. Not really. Suzanne Taylor says, I started with cardboard homemade templates. Oh my gosh. We still do that, Suzanne. We still have those cardboard templates. People still use those. I still use it. Actually, I use the plastic. Oh, I guess I didn't cut enough background squares. I use those little plastic, like the flexible cutting board things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I do have enough. I'll finish this one. And I do use, I actually still use cardboard templates, not for quilting, but for other things. Oh, I felt like something stung me right there. And this will be the last step. Whoops. Okay. Katie Craft says, I made a lantern looking block. Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. There is one other quilt that I would like to do that uses this this ruler. I think, is it the lantern? Yeah, it is the lantern quilt. No, wait, no, not the lantern quilt. Maybe it's in the different book, but I'll show it to you guys when I get through with this. There's two more. But I always have a problem toward the end. And the last one. And we are done with all the flower petals. And we're done. Let's press these out. Okay, now then I can square it up. That's why I never liked the block. I do have a ruler now. Learned to quilt before rotary cutters existed. Yeah, I can't imagine quilting without rotary cutters and all the convenient tools that we have now. Holy cow. That would be a nightmare to do. Especially a block like this. I wouldn't want to do a Drunkard's Path with just cardboard templates. And I can see why a lot of people didn't do this block for a long time until templated rulers came out. Now, if this were a hand sewing project, well, not that I would do a hand sewing project, but it might be a little bit more bearable if it were, because I can't imagine. Well, no, I think it'll still be a pain in the butt to do. There we go. This is like doing half square triangles. You have to do one at a time. when you square them up. But I tell you, when you do square it up, they look marvelous. Oh, didn't quite get the fabric there. Okay, last one on this one, and then just 4 more to go. Whoops. Went a little bit off there. And we are just, whoops, ruler shifted. Uh-oh. We should be fine. Okay. Ah, okay. Forgot about that. The hot topic. Thank you, Suzanne, for activating it. Let's see. What is the one quilting technique that you don't like? For me, it's paper piecing. And I know you might just, you might be thinking, what? Because I just announced the quilt along for next month. It is a paper piece pattern, but it's a fairly, or it looks to be a fairly simple paper piece pattern. So yeah, that is the one technique that I kind of just don't enjoy doing, but I can do it. I just don't like doing it. So I'm just going to challenge myself with this sew along, and hopefully you guys will be joining in so we can kind of encourage each other to do it. But it's something I still have not found the love for it yet. So yeah. So if you came in late, I'll recap it, but I am planning to do a sew along in which you can download the pattern, the free pattern, and I will share that information as soon as I finish squaring up this block here. But it was something that was voted for by those of you that were on that previous live where I asked the question, would you guys be interested in doing a sew along type of activity on these lives? So the vast majority of people said yes. And so I chose a pattern. It doesn't look to be a difficult pattern. I could be wrong, but it is a paper piecing pattern. So, all right, so there's the yellow. That's 1. Here's the pink flower. That's 2. Here's the crazy orange. That's 3. 4. This pretty pink. 5. The blue, the crazy blue. And 6. This crazy flower pattern. Okay. There you have it. So I got all my tulip tulip pieces ready. Okay. So this is the pattern I'm talking about that I will start doing as I sew along. It's called the Diamond Pendant. It's a free pattern that was put out by Hoffman. Quilt designer is Majorie Rhine. You can download this pattern from a website. It's in the description to this video. It's called Bear Creek Quilting, I think. And if you see part 1 to this whole live session, because I did have some technical things, and I'll probably make a short video about it. But if you see part 1, you can kind of see the website and how to find the pattern itself. To me, it's going to be, I don't know, I think it'll be fun to actually work on this together with all of you. So yeah, Diamond Pendant. And again, I'll share the information on next week's live or on the next live, as well as it'll be on the video description to this live when it goes up on. Okay. So the only quilting technique I have trouble with is FPP. That's Kim Burris. I can do EPP and use paper to sew string blocks, but FPP I just can't do. The brain says no. Not doing it. Okay. Lizette says applique would have been my nemesis. Oh, I love applique. Isn't it interesting how all of us have different, even though we're all quilters, we all have different techniques or different favorites. I just find that interesting. Gayla Walters says, free motion quilting on a domestic machine. I would rather just straight line. I hear you on that. Yeah. Or maybe just even walking foot quilting. Free motion quilting just on a domestic machine. If you don't have a long arm or if you don't have a large throat space, it's, yeah, frustrating. Okay, Gloria says, I did learn to sew on a treadle machine. Really? You know, my grandmother had a treadle machine, and as a form of punishment, she would make me operate the pedal for her. Lo and behold, she would always tell me, go faster, pedal faster, pedal faster. And I would have my hand, or I would stick up my legs and my feet and just try to maneuver the pedal like that. Lo and behold, what she didn't tell me, my grandfather rigged the machine so it'll only max out at a certain speed. But I'm pedaling my little behind to death. Barb McKinley says, paper piecing, vomit. Come on, Barb, we got to try it together. Let's try it together. Gloria Garris says, I don't like binding. Me either. Me either. Oh no, you are leaving? Eric, please don't take my sunshine away. See you now next time. Okay, Shirley. All right, so that is it for tonight. We're a little bit more, about an hour and a half. But you know what? At least I got all of my tulip petals done. Coincidentally, if you are curious, yes, the quilt behind me uses this same ruler. And the same parts to it too. So yeah, and that pattern is in the same book that I'm using here. Where is the front? There it is. Okay, so again, this is So Kind of Wonderful, the ruler and the pattern book. You know, it was a worthwhile investment for me, and it got me over that fear of curves. Gloria Garris says, applique is one of my favorite things. Oh, okay, Gloria. We're in good company then. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, I do apologize for the technical problem that we had earlier, but it seems like the live went smooth. Well, kind of as smooth can be. All right, have a great rest of the week. I shall see you next Tuesday right here, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and hopefully I'll make progress on this quilt so that we can start putting the blocks together. Take care, everyone, and let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Mwah. Bye for now. Oh, perfect.